So this kit is for the Valentine's Day stuffed pocket tags. And there are multiple pages to the kit. So you get 2 tags that are very different. There are 2 different backing papers that come along with it. There are multiple square tags, rectangle tags, and then just other tags that you can use within your pocket tags. It comes with some medium-sized tags, circle tags, and heart tags. There is some washi tape, some little banners, some other tags, and then there are fussy cut images that you can use within your kit. And then also some word pieces that you can cut and use within your kit. So however you put your tags together, you can make just a bunch of different types of tags just from this one kit. And they all look very different. So that's what comes in the kit. I'm going to show you how I'm going to put some of my things together here, just so you can see just one type of tag. Again, you can do multiple different tags with one kit. And the great thing is that you can print these from home. I did print mine. At a professional printing place just because I really wanted the high quality color. I know my printer, when it prints on regular cardstock, this is regular cardstock, it doesn't get the bright colors that I really want. So I don't mind taking it to a professional printing place just to have my stuff printed. So I'm gonna go ahead. I have most of my other pieces already cut out, and I'm just gonna go ahead because I think I really like this little Happy Valentine's Day tag. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cut this one thing out, and then I'm gonna show you exactly how easy these are to put together. And I really like how quickly they do come together. And you don't have to be, you know, an artist or a super serious crafter to really like these junk journal type projects, because they're just smaller. They're smaller scale, which I kind of like, because if you don't have a lot of time to do a lot of crafting, but you still really like to craft, these are just the ticket to do it. So I am going to grab my cutting mat. I have a cutting mat here that I use kind of underneath all of my things so that I can do scoring and cutting and all that good stuff. So I'll kind of show you some of the different tools that I'm going to be using. I do like the Elmer's running tape, the double-sided tape. And I do like the zip dry glue for things that are a little harder to put on. I also use different Scotch brand tapes, and I forgot to grab my glue stick. So, and I do like these kind of glue sticks. Okay, so I'm new-ish to the junk journaling world. I've been an art teacher and an artist for years and years, but I have gotten more into just the different paper craft things. I've done mixed media work, all kinds of things, but I've really kind of started loving the junk journal kinds of projects because they're relatively quick and they are quite easy to put together when things are kind of mapped out for you. So I really appreciate the junk journaling things. Okay, so here's the tag and here's the pocket. Now you can see there's a line that's where you're going to score and fold your pocket so that you can add it to your tag. So what I'm going to do, first off, I'm going to back my tag because the paper is white on the back. And again, the kit comes with a couple of different kinds of papers. You can also use scrapbook papers if you have them. Something like this might be kind of cute to go with some of the other patterns and things that I've got going on. But I'm going to grab, I think I'm going to use, do I want to? Let's do that. Let's do this one. So I'm going to kind of see, I hate wasting paper. I hate it. So I'm going to take and kind of put my tag up against just to kind of see where it kind of lays. And I'm going to use a glue stick just because it's a flat piece of paper and it will stick just fine with a glue stick. And my glue stick's a little dirty. I should have cleaned it off first, but that's okay. So I'm going to put glue all around the outside edge. And I'm going to stick this down so that it's nice and flat. Notice how I am putting my tag the right side up against, well, that didn't go very good, did it? I'm putting my tag right side up against the backing paper that is upside down because I want the print of the paper to be on the back of my tag. There we go. That's a little better. Now, if you have multiple things that you want to back, you're going to want to take and make multiple prints of that one page with the backing papers. Or, again, if you have scrapbook paper, gift wrap paper is great too. Sometimes tissue papers are kind of fun if it's just a white background or backing and you want to just add kind of a layer of print over the top of the white. That's kind of fun. Again, there's just so many things that you can do. So I'm just trimming around that backing just so that it is right up against my tag. So now my tag has a backing to it, which is very lovely. All right, so I am going to take my embossing tool, and I like to use a straight edge. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy ruler here, and I'm going to put my ruler right up against the line, and I'm going to take my little embossing tool. I'm going to take the wider edge, and I'm just going to run it right along that line. And I'm just going to make a really good embossing line. Now, I'm doing this so that my fold is nice and crisp. And I do like this little bone tool here to take and get a nice crisp fold. That's why I score my things so that my fold is nice. You know, if you don't have the tools to do it, just fold it. You can use a different type of object to kind of put it down on the edges so that way it lays nice and flat. But you know, if you don't have the embossing tools, don't use the embossing. It's fine. It's so fine. Okay, so here's my pocket, and my pocket is going to go right on the outside of my tag. And I'm just going to take and fold this over just a tiny bit more because I think I misfolded it just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So when I folded that edge over, it kind of comes across the top. I'm just going to trim that a little bit. And then I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to use some of my zip dry glue for this one just because it's a pocket and I'm going to be putting things in it. So I want it to be a little bit sturdy. And I'm also going to put just a tiny bit of glue right along that edge so that the edges glue down. I'm just going to hold it there for just a second. And then I'm going to put some of my glue right on my pocket edges so that it glues down to my tag. Now this glue does dry pretty quickly. It does not take very long for it to start to set up. So I'm gonna line that up good. So, and I'm just gonna hold that for just a second. Just a second. So that way it just make sure my pocket opens. Okay. I love that. So we're gonna let that set for a little bit just to make sure that it doesn't pop up. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna glue my Happy Valentine's Day on the outside of that pocket. And I'm gonna kind of line that up. There we go. Beautiful. Now, depending on your tags, if you want to leave them white, by all means, leave them white. If you want to put a backing on them, you can put a backing on them. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. Again, there's no wrong answer. And you can start to kind of play around with your tags. Now, some of the tags have like a circle where you can punch a hole in it and add ribbon and whatnot to them. Okay. And there is one that has lines on it that you can write a little message on there if you want to. I'm going to take and punch a few of these. I'm also, I'm going to punch a hole. Try to get it right in the middle here. There we go. There we go. I love the grommets. I love buttons. I love grommets. It's all so fun. This one I didn't do very straight, so I'm just going to kind of try to fix that a little bit. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to leave that one there. And I'm going to punch a hole here. And I'm going to punch a hole in this one. Let's see, we'll leave that one there like that for now. I have just some of my fussy cut images that, you know, you can also add on to things. We'll kind of see where that goes. I'm not really sure how I want that to go quite yet. So here's all my tags. I have this little banner. I'm trying to see where my O went. Where did that little piece go? This would be a super cute little bookmark. For someone to include, you'd always laminate it if you want it to last a little longer. But really cute little idea for a bookmark. Where did my O go? Oh, I might have to cut. I have to cut another one. I don't know what I did with it. Well, I think I'm gonna have to just cut another one. So again, I'm not sure where it went. I had it cut out. There we go. Okay, so I am going to use my embossing tool again. And I'm just going to emboss across the top because these are going to fold over a little piece of like hemp string. You could also put it over a little piece of ribbon. That would be super cute too. All right. Okay. And I'm going to take my little bone tool here. And just take that score line that I made and fold it over nice so that I get a nice crisp fold. Just like so. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little hemp string. So here's my little piece of hemp that I cut. And I think I'm going to go kind of across, maybe I'll go across the, I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind about that. I'm not sure. We'll play with that later. We're gonna put that aside for now. We're gonna put that aside for now. Let's kind of start playing with some of our other stuff here. So some of the fussy cut images, what you can do is if you have you can leave your tag plain. If that's what you want to do, I mean, totally you could do that. But you can play around with some of the fussy cuts and decide how you want to add those. You can layer them so that, you know, you have some dangles that kind of come down too. You can, you know, make just a dangle without putting anything underneath it. I mean, my gosh, there's just so much you can do. It's kind of crazy. You can double up a tag, you know, I could put my little postage stamp on there. And actually, I do kind of like that. Oh yeah, I do. I know what I'm going to exactly do. So I'm going to take, and I just kind of cut out along the outside with the white edge. I'm going to cut that white edge off because I don't want that, but I'm going to combine the little I love you tag with these two, and I'm going to put this with this one because it's postage. It's a postcard, right? So why wouldn't you? And as you can see, I have not used any supplies that are, you know, crazy out of the ordinary. You know, you may not have the embossing tool or the bone tool to fold, but again, you know, I could use like the back of my X-Acto blade if I wanted to for scoring. You're just putting a line, you know, in it. You're not cutting through it. So you just use the back of it, and then you're not cutting through it. You could use the edge of the scissors. You could use, oh goodness, an unfolded paper clip. Yeah, there's just so many things that you can use. You don't need to get fancy tools of any sort if you don't want to. I like the fancy stuff, or the fancier stuff, I guess I should say, just because one, I have it already, and two, I just appreciate some of the tools that make life a little easier. I also am gonna use a little bit of my distress inks here. I've got some walnut Jim Holtz inks. I really, really, really love the Jim Holtz inks. They worked so nicely. So I'm going to show you in a minute how I'm going to use those, but now, I don't know about anybody else, but I find that the fussy cutting, and some people don't like to do it, but I find that it's really relaxing. Sometimes I got to kind of remind myself to breathe. There we go. So I'm going to take this Distress ink. Watch what this does. Okay, this is the walnut one. He makes a bunch of different kinds. And I'm just going to brush it along the edge, and it just gives it a little extra something something, especially when it's up against the paper. And I just love that distressed look. I love it. So I'm going to take, oh, I'm going to put my top on the ink so it doesn't dry out first. I'm going to take my glue stick again. Now, because this is paper on paper and I don't have to worry about anything like having to go into it, I feel like a glue stick is fine. I can use a glue stick and it works perfectly great. And it's not going to come together. Now, if you're worried about it coming together, you can use a little something that's a little more heavy duty for glue, but I find that these glue sticks work great. So I'm not too worried about it. And then maybe I'll use, so I want the I love you. Oh, I think I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do that one. And I'm going to use some of my ribbon for this one. And I have like a darker, I'm going to use the darker red, I think. Now, I love these sheer ribbons also. You can use whatever kind of ribbon that you like. And I'm just going to kind of see how long that's going to be once it's kind of tied together. And what I like to do is I like to kind of I like to fold it and then feed it through both of them at the same time, like so. And then just pull the ends, make a little loop, and then pull the ends through. It's not really a knotted, that you can't get off, but it holds everything together really nicely. And so I have this little dangle and I have the stamp on this little postcard tag, and I love it. Now again, if you don't want this backing, the white, on the back, you can go ahead and put a backing on it. That works great too. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to stack it in here. Let's see. We're going to take a little bit of the pink ribbon I have here. And like I said, this would be great for a little bookmark for someone. So they have a little something extra to use after the tag is given, and it's fun, it's cute, and they can use it even after Valentine's Day. So that's why I kind of appreciate a extra little gift that's in there. And again, I'm just gonna pull my ends. Actually, you know what? Since this is a bookmark, let's put a backing on it. I'm going to use my other backing paper because we want it to be a little heavy duty if it's going to be a bookmark. So, and I can re-punch the hole. That's not a big deal. And I'm going to add a little ink to it because, you know what? Let's make it a special gift. So I'm going to put it just aside from the edge. So then it's going to have that backing paper. You could also take and write a little message for someone if it's a friend or loved one. Take and write a little extra message on the back for them. Laminate it if you want it to be a little even more heavy duty. So there's my bookmark. This is very not even, so I'm going to fix that. There we go. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to use that like that. I'm going to take some of this Distress ink again, and we're going to put it right along the edge. Again, so it just gives it a little more of a vintage feel, and I think it just adds a little something to the edges and just feels more finished sometimes with the ink. But really, really cute. I just love that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's repunch our hole. I'm gonna line it all up. There we go. A little bit of an edge there to like. See if we can add just a little ink around the edge like that. Bring it over into the edges a little bit. Very cool. Okay. Now I have a green ribbon because I do have some green going on in the pocket. I have a brown ribbon I could use. I have the pink, and then I have the red again. I kind of like the green. I do kind of like the green. I think I cut, remember if I cut, yeah, I did cut some pink already, but you know what? That's all right. That is okay. Let's use the green. I like the green. I could add that dangle if I want to, but I don't think I'm going to. I think we'll just leave this alone. There we go. I do know what I'm going to add though. Actually, I have a little tag that is a great reminder of you are enough. And you know what? I am going to put that on there. Because I don't think that we remind ourselves that enough. And I love that. I love that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now I would definitely you can take packing tape if you don't have a laminator and put a piece of packing tape on both sides and then cut it out so that it is laminated, and then that way it doesn't tear as easy, and it'll last a really long time, and it's a little bit tougher. So I would do that if you don't have a laminator to laminate the bookmark. Oops, put this through. Oh, come on now. That. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Oh, look at that. Isn't that great? Oh, I love it. And then there's your bookmark. And you can put that in there. So that there's that. All right. This is so cool. This is coming together so nicely. Alrighty. So I have this tag and I have this little tag. I'm going to put those together. I love these little distressed looking like word tags. And actually, I forgot to put ink on this one. I should put ink on this one too. So I'm going to just do it real quick, just along the edges. I would have done that before I put it on, but I kind of forgot about to do it. There. There. So it gives it just a little bit of that brown edge. It does work better when you do it before you put it on, but that's okay. That's okay. Alrighty. And now I'm going to grab the pink, a little bit of this pink. And put that through here first. And then put it through this one. Like I said, the combinations you do of all of these different tags is like crazy. The amount of different things that you can come up with. It's and all of the backing things that you can put on. You can write little messages. Just, it's really endless. So we've got this one. And then there's all these other little tags. This one I might just leave. Just the, like this. This one, I think I'm gonna add the little books to it. Yeah, I like this. I like the books for this one. So I'm going to take my glue stick. Actually, before we do that, let's do our distressing. Oh, that's such a satisfying look. So satisfying. Now again, if you don't like that look, don't do it. Don't use it. You could also get the colored inks, pinks or greens. All right. And I'm gonna take and just glue that down. Again, I'm just going to use a glue stick just because it's flat. I don't have to worry about trying to make it, you know, heavy duty at all. And you know what? Instead of ribbon for this one, maybe I'll try the jute. Maybe I'll just, instead of that, I was going to do a banner. And then I kind of changed my mind. So maybe I'll just do this little piece of jute with this one instead. Just to give it a little different texture and a little different look. That didn't even out very good. Try again. Take two. There we go. All right, so let's put this one in here. I mean, this pocket is full. Now, depending on how many things you want to add in there, right now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things in there, okay? Depending on how many things you want to put in there, you can load it up or just put a few things. It's totally up to you. I'm just gonna dress everything so it all kind of goes together. There we go. You know, so all of these tags, and I still can make a bunch more. Like, it's crazy how many more that I can make from this. So I think actually what I'm gonna do, put these in here. I still have this I love you. And I think I'm gonna cut this a little closer. I did use a circle punch that I had, a 2-inch circle punch, but I think it's a little too much. I want the flowers to kind of show through a little more, so. And maybe I'll glue it down here in the bottom. Maybe I'll distress the white so that it's not so white. There we go, because it kind of matches the rest of the tag. And maybe I'll just glue it down kind of at the bottom here, maybe. That. Let me see. I have some other ribbon here. I have like this stuff that's not the sheer, but it's like a thin ribbon. Could use a little of that, or just not use any ribbon at all. Not sure what I want to do. Maybe I'll just put that as a back, like a back tag. Something like that. Yeah, I think I'll do something like that. And then I'm also gonna, let me take these out of here for a minute. I'm going to distress the outside of this tag. There we go. Now I probably would have distressed the outside of this pocket before I glued it on. Of course, I didn't really think about that till it's glued on. So I'm just going to take and just kind of push it out a little bit and just kind of run my ink right along the edge. It's fine. Again, I'm sure some of you know better ways to do this because, again, I have been doing art for many, 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 many years. I've been teaching art for many, many, many years, but you know, there's always many ways to do things. So you know, who knows? It's, you know, whatever. We figure out what works best, I guess, sometimes. I love this tag. This is my favorite tag. This is my favorite tag of all of them. That is my favorite. Favorite. I love it. I just love it. Okay. And maybe I'll stuff that one in there. Oh, look it. It's so cute. It is so cute. I love this one. All the things that I combined. And I still have so many things left over that if I want to make, whoops, if I want to make more tags, if I want to make more anything, I still have more. I still have more stuff. That is the beauty with this kit, is that your imagination really can run wild and your creativity can really run wild. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. I love creating these. I think they're so much fun. You can find this printable at funpartyprintableco.com, and that and along with many other printables. So thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see what you create. Make sure that you like and subscribe for more videos.